After what feels like an eternity, we now have confirmed details about F123. From new handling and improved car physics to more details about Breaking Point and the journey of Konnersport Racing, EA and Codemasters have finally let the cat out of the bag when it comes to the latest F1 release. There are also a whole load of other new features and improvements coming to the game. So what exactly is coming for F1 fans? I'm Mark from RacingGames, and here's everything we now know about F123. First, let's talk handling. Codemasters has always had to tread a fine line between realism and accessibility with the Formula 1 games. Hardcore players want it to be a more sim racing experience like iRacing or rFactor 2, but newcomers to the series, or even those who play on a controller, need it to be far more accessible than that. To be fair, Codemasters have done a great job over the years with the balance, and are now making some bold claims about this year's title. For F123, the handling model has been upgraded, giving cars a more predictable behaviour. The vehicle physics have also been improved to give cars better traction under braking, accelerating and cornering. This is a huge upgrade, as the handling was arguably the biggest letdown in F122. Engine torque and inertia improvements have also been made, meaning throttle control is now more authentic and offers a greater level of connection to the car. These all sound great to players using a wheel, but what about those on controller? Well, we have good news there too. F123's precision drive controller technology has been designed to give pad players more control during high-pressure race moments, allowing controller players to drive with a similar level of confidence to those on wheel. These changes are huge, and we're really hoping they can live up to expectations once the game is released. From the handling to the worst kept secret in F123, Breaking Point is back, but now with a twist. Instead of taking Aiden Jackson through a choice of existing F1 teams on the grid, F123's Breaking Point sees Jackson join the newly formed Konnersport Racing team, teaming up with none other than the driver you'd love to crash into, Devon Butler. Putting these two together sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, but we here at RacingGames are quite excited about this. Konnersport Racing are the 11th team on the grid, meaning all the existing teams and drivers will be visible throughout your playthrough. There was always something about seeing well-established drivers drop so that Jackson, Butler and Casper Ackerman could race in F1 that just didn't sit right with us. So we're happy to see Breaking Point 2.0 take the My Team approach by adding to rather than replacing the grid. We've already seen the Konnersport car through the car launch video on the eve of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and we're loving the striking purple and yellow combination. If this car drives as well as it looks, then Breaking Point returning could be a neat little addition to F123. Speaking of returning features, let's talk about F1 Life, or rather its replacement. F1 Life was not exactly the breath of fresh air the F1 series needed, so this year Codemasters have gone back to the drawing board with F1 World. Now before you go slating F1 World in the comments, Codemasters have appeared to listen to the community on this one. F1 World still includes the divisive supercars, but also now encompasses the time trial and Grand Prix modes, becoming more of a game mode in itself rather than just an apartment decorating simulator. F1 Life was sold as a means to introduce players to the world of F1. Let's be honest here, it didn't exactly do that. But hopefully F1 World is the mode that F1 Life was meant to be, bringing players into the racing boots of their favourite drivers whilst in an actual car, not picking out a new colour for their sofas. So handling is being improved, Breaking Point is returning, and F1 Life has been replaced, but there's plenty more to talk about when it comes to F123. Firstly, all tracks on the 2023 calendar will be available to race from launch. This includes the returning to F1 Lusail International Circuit in Qatar, and the new for this year Las Vegas Street Circuit. Also returning to F123 are Portimao, Shanghai, and even Paul Ricard. So I guess someone at Codemasters saw our tracks we need in F123 video. A new progression system is also coming, which will allow players to level up by completing challenges to unlock car upgrades, new liveries, race suits, and helmets. So while pit coins remain in the game, it sounds like the podium pass is getting an overhaul. For those fed up with being rammed in online races, a new safety rating system is hitting the game that will link online and offline play, encouraging drivers to race cleanly. Whether this takes influence from iRacing's iRating system, or instead be similar to Assetto Corsa Competizione's more detailed rating system remains to be seen, but it's a great step to encourage clean racing. Also, the 35% race distance will, at last, be added to the public game. It had been an esports only distance for a while, but will be included in F123, giving players more flexibility when it comes to race weekends. Finally, the most requested feature is returning to the F1 series. That's right, red flags are back. Missing since F1 2014, red flags will add a whole new level of strategy during races. Now, players will be debating pitting early to get rid of their graining tyres, or gambling on a red flag to get a free pit stop. This is huge from Codemasters, and really shows they are listening to the fans when it comes to new and returning features. For those wondering when F123 launches, we don't have long to wait at all. The game is set to go live on the 16th of June. This is the earliest release date that Codemasters has released an F1 game, and represents a huge effort to get the game out as quickly as possible. Of course, this comes with the usual 3 days early access for those that buy the digital exclusive Champions Edition, which means racers can get behind the wheel on the 13th of June. As usual, the Champions Edition will also come with a series of rewards and perks, including the Max Verstappen Racewear Pack, time-limited Las Vegas content for pre-orders before the 31st of May, Breaking Point and My Team icons, XP boosts, an F1 World Bumper Pack, and 18,000 pit coins. If you ask us, that's a pretty nice upgrade package. F123 looks like a huge improvement over F122, and we can't wait to get our hands on the game to see if it lives up to expectations. Are you now excited about F123, or are you just waiting to see it before you believe it? Let us know in the comments below, and why not subscribe while you're there for all things F123. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Mark from RacingGames, and we'll catch you here on the channel for another video soon.